I want to have 4 reports. And I click on this button, it will just run. You can see the mouse is busy, it's hourglass. Once everything is ready, it's done. You can say done. Go back to the folder just now. You can see there are 4 files. Let's open the final file, Miss Diana. So everything works perfectly. For many experts out there, such as a consultant, trainers, or speakers, to really stand out from the rest, one of the strategies is to have their own profiling tools. The profiling tools is to discover the gaps and potential improvement so that those experts is able to address the needs immediately. And a lot of time, those experts, they use the tool like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, or even Excel to churn out the report manually. This is a highly repetitive task, it's done manually, and it's not scalable to handle more customers. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to share with you how you're able to automate your profiling tool or the method you are using now using Excel step by step. There are a few prerequisites required before you're able to use the automation I'm about to share in this video. The first one, you must be running on Excel in Microsoft Windows. If you're using other platform, other spreadsheet, the method may not able to work 100%. And secondly, the report must be ready. As you can see on the screen, everything is ready and it's linked to another worksheet. Like here, it links to calculation. There is no calculation in this worksheet. And the third one, all the calculation must be in a single sheet. Like what you can see, I highlighted in the color here. These are the data I'm going to key in manually so that the chart is able to get updated. You are able to use whatever method you are using now, and these are the prerequisites. Let's get started. And the first one I'm going to share with you is to create a data worksheet with all the data you are going to key manually. This is a very straightforward kind of reporting for profiling tools. This is a name, the company, the role, and it has a A, B, C, D. So these are the name. Instead of manually keying one by one into here, I put all the profiling submission inside here. So the first thing I want to do is to create another row here to indicate which row I need to get from the data here. So let's create one. I just right click and insert. I just go inside here. I say this is a row number. And I just key in row number 1. Whenever I say row number 1, it says it refers the data, the first record. Whenever I go to the calculation, I change to row number 2, so it will change it to row number 2. So as the things goes on, and it will automate the report in this manner. After I create a number, let me zoom in a little bit. I want to change the color to yellow so that it makes the thing stand out. I make it yellow. And on the top, I want to go to name box. Yes, inside name box, I want to give a name. So I recommend you to use this name, report underscore row underscore number. I key everything in capital so that later on I'm able to differentiate. After you have done, you can just press enter. So that means this particular cell is no longer called B1, is referred to the report row number. So I'm going to copy this one, as later on I'm going to use this for the formula. So I change number 2 back to number 1. So I'm going to use a formula to retrieve from the data. After I created that one, I need to go here and I need to do some changes. The first thing is I need to create a new column. Right click on the column A, a new column. I call this as process. So later I'll be using this one to indicate which row or which record I want to process. And after that, I go to insert. There's something called table, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+T. It works the same. After that, you can see the whole thing is selected and it says my table has headers. Headers means the very first row, what it means for the individual data underneath. So I can press OK. And right after that, I want to change the name. Change the name to call table data. Table data. Okay, let me change it. Okay, this is done. And I want to go back to calculation. I'm going to retrieve the data based on the formula. The function I'm going to use is called index. Index is able to use the row number to retrieve the relevant data from the table data. So go inside here, I will just using formula equal index, IND, When the index is selected, I can just press tab key, index and tab table, tab. You can see the table name is selected, and then you press tab key again. Because I'm going to go for specific column, which is called name, so I'll open square bracket, name. Just type the first few alphabet of name, and yep, it is selected. I press tab key, close square bracket, then after that comma, and you ask for row number. Which row number is that? I want to get row number 1. Yep, you can click on B1 or you can just type the name, report row number. So I can close parenthesis, it works. If I change it to row number 2, enter, you can see the name change. Row number 3, it changes as well. So I go back to row number 1. I do the same thing for the rest. So I will go equal in tab, tab, table data, tab, open square bracket, and it will give you a list. Now I'm going to get for the company, just type company, tab, close parenthesis, comma, report row number. I can use arrow key to go up and press enter because it's a very simple formula. Excel will automatically close parenthesis for us and press enter. It works. So I can type equal the next one, index, tab, tab, table data, tab, open square bracket. Now I'm going to get for the row. I just type R. Yes, the row is selected. Press tab, close parenthesis, comma. Another way to select the name above, rather than using a mouse or keyboard, you can type the name, report. And you can see the report row number is shown on the screen and it's also selected. And now you can press tab key, close parenthesis, enter. Okay, it works. Let's do a simple test. Now I change the row number 1 to row number 2. Yes, it works. Row number 3. Yes, it works. Okay, back to row number 1. Do the something similar inside here. Your could be very different, so you need to, based on whatever you have now, adjust accordingly. So I will just go a little bit faster inside here. Equal index tab, table tab, open square bracket. So this is alpha, tab, close square bracket, comma, report, tab, enter. Equal index tab. So I will get the table, bravo, yes, report, enter. Equal index tab, table tab, open square bracket, this is Charlie, tab, close square bracket, comma, report row number, enter. Equal index tab, table tab, open square bracket, delta, tab, close square bracket, comma, report row number, tab, close parenthesis, enter. Very good. Let's do some changing. If I change the row number 1, let me zoom out a little bit so that I can see the whole thing. Row number 1 to row number 2, yes, it works. Row number 3, it works. Row number 4, it works. If I go to another invalid record, row number 5, it doesn't exist. So therefore, you can see there's an error. So I can go back to row number 1. So far, everything works perfectly. Now I want to do some recording. This is about macro. In order to have this thing to work correctly and subsequent processing, I want to save the file as a macro-enabled workbook before I proceed further. So I can go to File, Save As, and I want to save as a macro-enabled workbook. And then I can just press Save. Yes, it's done. And now I'm going to do the recording. To do recording, you can go to View. That is on the far right side, there's something called Macro. Click on the lower half, you will see something called Record Macro. And the name will be Output PDF file. Output PDF. So I just key in the name Output PDF. And I want to save this macro in this workbook. When everything's okay, I just press OK. Remember, after you press OK, every single action is recorded. The very first step I want to do is to click on the report worksheet. Even though you are there, you want to click because this is the worksheet. I'm going to export it out as a PDF file. So I can go to File, Save As. I want to save as. I change the file type to PDF. Okay, so I can give it a different name if you want to. So I just maintain as it is. and I can just press save. Once it's done, remember stop recording. So I can go to macro and stop recording. Whenever you make some mistake, you can go click on upper half of the macro. You can just see the macro in this workbook. You can just delete and redo the step again. So now this thing is done, and I want to double check whether the PDF file is okay or otherwise. So I'm going back to my folder. Yes, I have a PDF file. Let me open. Double click. Yes, this is a report. And Mr. Ali, this is a report. Yes, done. So it works perfectly, and looks like this macro it works. And I'm going to do some adjustments so that it is able to process based on the data we have it inside here. Whenever I want to process a certain record, I just put the X, put some indicator here. I put something easier X. If I put multiple X, it will process multiple rows and it will generate the report one by one. To do some coding, you can just go to View, Macro, and you can see the output PDF file. Just click on the Edit. Whenever it's an edit, you will see something like this appears. Very nice. So we are going to go through step by step, and I'm going to share with you how we are able to make this thing much more scalable. Just follow step by step. If you feel this video is a bit fast, you can make it slower. Okay, so first thing, the green line, it doesn't serve any purpose. I can just remove it for now. And on the top, I'm going to key in something like this. I want to key in sub generate reports, because it's going to generate more than one report, and press enter. And press tab key to make it indent. I press enter a few rounds to have more space so that it's easier to read. The first thing I want to do is to have some variable. The variable is going to hold the record one by one, which means if I go back to Excel, it's going to hold record number 1. After that, go to record number 2, record number 3, record number 4. It's going to process like this one by one. So I need a temporary placeholder, which is called variable. The name I'm going to use is called object data row. So I type dim. This one you can type in lowercase, and subsequently it's better to use a mixture case, uppercase and lowercase, to make it easier to read. And obj means object data row, and press tab key as list row. Okay, as list row. Press tab key to confirm selection, and press enter few rounds so that you are able to see how it works. And now I'm going to process the row by row. So I'm going to type for each object data row in range, open parenthesis, double quote. Inside here, you are going to use the table name you have created outside. So presume I have forgotten the table name. Just go back out to Excel. This is the table. If you go to table design, usually on the lower, usually it's on the right side of the ribbon. And you can see there's something called table name. Just to be 100% sure, I can just copy the name. And I go back to VB, paste it over here, and double quote and close parenthesis, dot list object, tab key, dot list rows. Yep. And press enter, few round, and type the wording next object data row. This means I'm going to have the looping multiple round like this one. It will go loop all the data inside table data until it hits the end. So now I'm going to do something here. Just do a simple testing just to make sure it works correctly. So I want to promote the message box, obj data row dot range, tab key. Whenever you dot range and open parenthesis, it requires you to key in the column number. So you can see it's a row number because it's only processed row by row. It will automatically go to the column number. So I want to go for the column number 2. Close parenthesis. Let's go back to Excel. Column number, this is the column number 1, process. This column number 2. So I'm going to prompt up the message for all the name one by one. So let's go back to here. You will prompt the whole thing. So this is done. I go back to Excel and I want to run the macro called generate reports. So I can go to view, there's something called macro, and you can use the keyboard shortcut alternate F8. You are able to achieve the same result. Click this one and you can see something called generate reports. Click run and you can see this is the first one called Mr. Ali. I press OK. Second one is Mr. Baba. Third one is Miss Cherry, and the fourth one is Miss Diana. So it works, so it processes one by one. That's one condition I need to consider. I only process those has a mark X, or there's one alphabet in the column, in the first column. So let's go back to my Visual Basic. Inside here, I need to add a message. I want to add the checking using if obj data row dot range open bracket or open parenthesis number 1, which the first column close parenthesis is greater than empty string. Empty string means double quote, then only show this. So that means whenever the user key in a little bit alphabet inside there, no matter it's X or some other alphabet, it works the same. So with this, I'm able to see the prompt whenever I put the X in the first column. Let's go back to Excel and to see which name I will receive. I'm expecting only to see Mr. Ali. So go back to macro or alternate F8, generate reports and click run. Yes, Mr. Ali. Okay, nothing else. Let's go and click one more, Miss Diana. So I'm expect to see Mr. Ali and Miss Diana. Go back to macro and run the generate reports. Mr. Ali, okay. Miss Diana, okay, very good. So it works the same. And now I'm going to, based on the selection here, I want to change the number here. I want to change the number so that all the report will get updated automatically. So let's go back to Visual Basic, and the Visual Basic inside here, I want to do something here. So the name of the report here is called report row number. To be 100% precise, I will just click above here and copy and press escape. Remember, press escape, not changing anything here. Go back to Visual Basic. So instead of message box the name, I can just put a command, single quote in front, so it will just ignore whatever thing at the back. And press enter. So I'm going to type range, open parenthesis, double quote, paste the name, report underscore row underscore number, close parenthesis, close double quote, close parenthesis, equal object data row dot range tab dot row tab -1. The purpose of having -1 is to offset the header. So let's go back to the data worksheet. Even though inside this row it says it's row number 2, but actually this is the row number 1. This is the record number 1. Record number 1 is at the row number 2 because it has one header on the top. So therefore I need to have -1. So let's go back. After I done this one, I change it and I need to recalculate just in case some people they make the calculation as a manual. So I want to make sure everything is recalculated after changing the row number. So I type application.calculate, tab key, enter. Very good. So with this in place, I want to generate the report based on the person name. I want to save the file based on the person name as well. So output PDF file. So output PDF file, I need to change something here. Instead of default the same name over and over again, I need to make it dynamic based on the person. Let's go back to data again. This one I want to save the file name as Mr. Ali. This one I want to save the name as a Mr. Baba, and so on. Miss Cherry, Miss Diana. So everyone will have a different file name for that PDF. So let's go back to VBA. Here I want to change the name called person name. I go to output PDF file. Just between the parentheses, just type person name, put the space, AS string, tab key. So it will accept the name from above here. So therefore I want to, after this done, copy, output PDF file. I can just double click to select. After recalculate the whole thing, everything is updated, paste it over here and put a space, obj data row dot range, tab key, open parenthesis number 2. So this will be getting the name. So you pass the name into this report. Okay, so this report is inside here. I'm going to do something to make the path dynamic. First thing, I don't need it fixed by the certain location. I want to go by this current folder. So this current file. So it called this workbook dot path. Yes, this workbook dot path, and I want to ampersand with application dot path separator. Okay, so this is the one. And whenever you see something like this, okay, I need to have one ampersand here to join with another text. And this one is fixed by the name. I don't want to fix by the name. Remove it. I want to go by the person name. So there will be person name ampersand PDF file. Okay, so this one you will output to the same folder, same place with the same person name. So this is okay. Let's run this one and see how it goes. So let's go back to Excel. I remember save the file. Okay, I press a save. So I'm going to generate Mr. Adi. So I remove the X from Miss Diana. So I go back to macro, or I can use the keyboard shortcut Alt and F8. Generate reports, run. Okay, document not saved. Let's see what is happening. Okay, this workbook. Okay, something wrong. Okay, it's not path, it's path separator. My mistake, path separator. Okay, so it should be working. Press. Whenever is something stuck, and on the top there's something called run, you can see something called continue. Just continue, or I can use the keyboard F5. Okay, so it is done. So let's go back to check on the folder. I will see something called Mr. Ali. So there's a PDF file. Let's open. Let's scroll down. Yes, Mr. Ali, Monster Inc. The role is CEO. This is the profile. That's nice. Let me close this and go back. So this is done. If let's say I run this over and over again, I maybe need to run this multiple times on the same person just to do some correction. If I run this again, I will encounter similar error. So let's go back and run this again. Macro, run. With the same person, Mr. Ali. And Mr. Ali, the file already exists in the same folder. If I run, okay, it works. So I can go back here. You can see it's inside here. So therefore, it's automatically overwritten. If I do this multiple times, it will be on the same folder, everything inside here. If this what you want is okay, otherwise you can create a folder. It can say is report. I can just right click, then I can create new folder. I call this as reports. Okay. So I have a subfolder. I want to have all the report inside here, so it makes it much more organized. So let me remove these two PDF files. So it was pasting, just remove it. And I go back to my Excel, the VBA code. After the path separator, I want to have a name called reports. So I double quote reports, double quote, ampersand application.path separator, and ampersand. It looks a bit long, but actually, if you follow step by step, you are able to get it done. So let me minimize it so that you are able to see the whole thing. When the code is getting longer and longer, you want to break it down to smaller line so that it's easier to read. To break it down to smaller line, you can need to have a space and underscore. Remember, you need to have a space and underscore and press enter. You can press tab key. So I can just do the same thing over here. Okay, so this will be the name. And this will be the quantity. So let's do this one by one. And you can see it will be slowly getting the code easier to read. Okay, so let's do this. And the name, if I move away. Okay, the name is a bit too long, so I want to break it to small line. Yes. Okay. So now you can see at the end everything with the space and underscore. Everything space underscore. These are the continuation of the code. The last one it doesn't have because this is the last line. So this is done and I'm happy with the result and I want to do more testing. Let's go back and go back to my data. So I want to Mr. Ali and Cherry. Let's have these two and then go back to macro and this is the person, this is the macro, run. Yes, it has generate 2. So let's go back to my folder. Mr. Ali and Miss Cherry. Let's open Miss Cherry and let's see the file. Okay, that's nice. Okay, this Miss Cherry, very nice. Everything works perfectly. Let me close the program and go back here. I'm going to do some adjustments, further fine-tuning to make it easier so that when the things is done, it will show the message is done. So inside generate reports, go towards the end before the end sub. Before the end sub, you want to type manually msgbox. It means the message box, double quote, done, double quote, and comma VBI, tab key. VBI means the VB information is a blue color icon, and comma title, I just want to leave it blank so I can just double quote, double quote. And to make it much more faster, I want to adjust the thing inside here. I will type application.screenUpdating equal to false. At the same time, I want to show the mouse as a very busy, so I type application.cursor tab key equal Excel wait and tab key. So it will show the hourglass or busy or loading kind of thing. And after the whole thing is done, just before the message box done, I will turn this off. Application.screenUpdating equal to true, and enter. Application.cursor equal Excel default. Okay, so I need to do some cleanup and I want to do some comment here. Comment, it makes the code much more easier to read. This is to speed up the automation. That's typo here. And only process those as marked X. Okay, so I put something here. Turn off the speed, macro speed technique. Okay, and this is the end. So that will be it. Okay, let me save this and go back to Excel. And I'm going to run this, go back to macro, generate reports, run. And you can see message box done. It doesn't have a screen flickering and I press OK. If I want to run a bit more, maybe I want to run the next one. I don't need this two. I want to run from Mr. Baba. I go to macro, run. Okay, done. So that is very, very fast. Let's go back to the folder. I have Mr. Baba. That's nice. Let's open the file and check what is it. So this ABCD profile report and Mr. Baba, everything looks perfect. Let's close this one and go back here. To make it much more easier to use, you want to go to Quick Access Toolbar. If you do not see that, you can just go to any of the ribbon. You can just right click. There's something called Show or Hide Quick Access Toolbar. Mine is already shown. Inside Quick Access Toolbar here, usually it's on the top, I place it on the bottom. You can just right click. There's something called Customize Quick Access Toolbar. Click on Customize Quick Access Toolbar. On the left side, choose command from macro and Customize Quick Access Toolbar for this file. Yes, for this file. And you can see there's something called Generate Reports. Click Add and you can see it is added to this here. Then click on the Modify to change the icon. I want to change this like a scroll so I can generate reports. You can have a space, you can use uppercase, lowercase, generate reports. Then press OK. So you can see this is the icon. I press OK. And outside you can see this icon immediately appears. If you use a mouse to point, this is called generate reports. Let me save the file, and next time I want to open the file, this is only for the very first time. Let me close this. Let me close it. Go back to my program. Okay, you can see there are two files, identical name. So just now it was blank. So I want to change this one. Okay, change the name called automated. So let's open this file. Double click. For the very first time after you save and close the macro, you will get this warning. It says macro has been disabled. Just remember to enable, because all the automation we have done up to just now, they are macro, they are automation. So this is the way Microsoft Excel is protecting us from running some unwanted automation. So this is created by us just now, so we can trust the program and enable content. After I go back to data, let's have one more test. I go back to reports, remove everything from here, and I go here. I want to generate all the report at once. I want to have 4 reports, and I click on this button. It will just run. You can see the mouse is busy, it's hourglass. Once everything is ready, it's done. You can say done. Go back to the folder just now. You can see there are 4 files. Let's open the final file, Miss Diana. So let's scroll down. Yes, Miss Diana. So everything works perfectly. I can close it. And this is how we are able to automate. I hope you are able to find the video just now beneficial to you, so that you are able to automate your profiling tool and you are able to scale your business to the next level. Let me know in the comment what kind of things you are doing in your work, and so that I'm able to feel proud of you. And my name is Tai. My aim is to help you to make friends with your data, one spreadsheet at a time. Take care everyone, stay safe.